We discovered your husband's body lying next to the tracks of the Paris-Bordeaux railroad line. He was dressed only in his pajamas. Do you know of any reason why he might have wanted to leave France?
Leave? No.
Your husband possessed a ticket of passage on the Maranguape. It sailed for Venezuela this morning at 7.
I'm very confused.
He was American, your husband?
Swiss.
Swiss. His profession?
He didn't have one.
He was a wealthy man?
I suppose so. I don't know.
About how wealthy, would you say?
I don't know.
Where did he keep his money?
I don't know.
Beside yourself, who is his nearest relative?
I don't know.
That's absurd, madame. Totalement absurde.
I know. I'm sorry.
It is all right?
I wish you wouldn't.
Les effets de l'enfer. On Wednesday last, your husband sold the entire contents of the apartment at public auction. Everything. The gallery paid him 1,250,000 new francs. In dollars, $250,000. The authorities in Bordeaux searched his compartment on the train. They searched it thoroughly. They did not find $250,000. These few things are all that was found in the train compartment. There was no other baggage. Your husband must have been in a great hurry. One wallet containing 4,000 francs. One agenda. His last notation was made yesterday, Thursday. 5 p.m., Jardin des Champs-Élysées. Why there?
I don't know. Perhaps he met somebody.
Obviously. One ticket of passage to South America. One letter, stamped but unsealed, addressed to you.
May I see it, please? My dear Regina, I hope you're enjoying your holiday. Megève can be so lovely at this time of year. The days pass very slowly, and I hope to see you soon, as always, Charles. P.S. Your dentist called yesterday. Your appointment has been changed. Not much, is it?
We took the liberty of calling your dentist. We thought perhaps we would learn something.
Did you?
Yes. Your appointment has been changed. One key to your apartment, one comb, one fountain pen, one toothbrush, one tin of tooth powder. That is all. If you will sign this list, you may take the things with you.
Is that all? May I leave now?
One more question. Is this your husband's passport?
Yes.
And this?
I don't understand.
And this? And this?
Oh, I telephoned, but nobody answered.
Hello?
Hello. I wanted to tell you how sorry I am. And see if there's anything I can do.
How did you find out?
It's in the afternoon papers. I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
I pressed the bell, but it isn't ringing, I guess.
I know there's no electricity.
Well, where did everything go?
Charles sold it all at auction. This is all I have left. I love this room, but Charles never really saw it. Only the things in it. I think I prefer it this way.
What are you going to do?
Try and get my old job back at Uresco, I suppose.
Doing what?
I'm a simultaneous translator, like Sylvie. Only she's English into French and I'm French into English. That's what I was doing before I married Charles. The police probably think I killed him.
Instant divorce, you mean?
Something like that. It's terrible it ended this way, though. Tossed off a train like a sack of third-class mail.
Well, come on, you can't stay here.
I don't know where to go.
We'll find you a hotel.
Nothing too expensive. I'm not a lady of leisure anymore, you know.
Something clean and modest. And near enough to your rest so that you can take a cab when it rains. Okay?
Okay. Not a very large turnout, is it?
Didn't Charles have any friends?
Don't ask me, I'm only the widow. If Charles had died in bed, we wouldn't even have him.
At least he knows how to behave at funerals. Have you no idea who could have done it?
Until 2 days ago, the only thing I really knew about Charles was his name. Now it seems I didn't even know that.
He must have known Charles pretty well.
How can you tell?
He's allergic to him.
Bless you.
Do you know him?
Never seen him before.
Arrivederci, Charlie. Miss Lampert, ma'am? Miss Lampert, ma'am. Charlie had no call of doing it that way. No siree.
Pardon, madame.
Merci.
Pardon. Pardon. Pardon.
Who's it from?
The American Embassy.
I bluffed the old man out of the last pot with a pair of deuces.
What's so depressing about that?
Well, I mean, if I can do it, what are the Russians doing to him?
Hello? Hello?
Is there anything wrong, Miss Tompkins?
Miss Tompkins isn't here.
Oh, I'm sorry. My secretary must have gone to lunch. You are,
Mrs. Lambert, Mrs. Charles Lambert.
Oh, yes. Please, come in, Mrs. Lambert. Excuse me for a moment, Mrs. Lampert. It's a stubborn little devil. Dry cleaning-wise, things are all fouled up. I had a good man, a really excellent man, on the Rue Pont, too. But HQ asked us to use the plant here in the building to ease the gold outflow.
Mr. Bartholomew, are you quite sure you know who I am?
You're Charles Lambert's widow, yes? I'm very sorry. Last time I sent out a tie, only the spot came back. Voila, as they say. Won't you sit down, Mrs. Lampert? I've got something here. I've got liverwurst, chicken, and liverwurst.
No, thank you.
Mrs. Lampert, do you know what CIA is?
I don't suppose it's an airline, is it?
Central Intelligence Agency, CIA.
You mean spies and all of that?
Only we call them agents.
We? You mean you?
Someone has to do it, Mrs. Lampert.
It's just that I didn't think people like you were supposed to admit.
Oh, I'm not an agent. I'm an administrator, a desk jockey, trying to run a bureau of overworked men with under-allocated funds. Congress seems to think that all a spy needs...
Agent.
Yes. That all he needs is a code book, a cyanide pill, and he's in business.
What's all this got to do with me, Mr. Bartholomew?
Your husband was wanted by the United States government.
May I have a sandwich, please?
Chicken or liverwurst?
Chicken.
To be more specific, Mrs. Lampert, your husband was wanted by this agency.
So that was it.
Yes. We, of course, knew him by his real name. Voss. Charles Voss. All right, Mrs. Voss. Now, I'd like you to look at this photograph here for a moment, please. Tell us if you recognize... Oh. By the way, have you seen this one? Scott, Kathy, and Ham Jr.
Very sweet.
Aren't they? All right, Mrs. Voss.
Please stop calling me that. Lambert's the name on the marriage license.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Mr. Lambert, would you look at that photograph and tell me if you recognize anyone, please? Now, just a moment. Have a good look.
It's Charles.
Very good.
He looks so young. When was this taken?
1944. Next, please.
The man who was at the funeral yesterday. A tall man in a corduroy suit.
Does the name Tex Penthollow mean anything to you?
No.
You like some wine?
Oh, thank you.
Next, please.
He was there, too. A little less hair, but it's the same one.
Do you know him, Mrs. Lampert? Leopold W. Gideon?
No.
The last one, please.
That's a face you don't forget. He was there, too.
Herman Scobie. You've never seen him before, either?
No, thank heaven.
Mrs. Lambert, I'm very much afraid that you are in a great deal of danger.
Why should I be in any danger?
You're Charles Voss's wife. Now that he's dead, you're their only lead.
Mr. Bartholomew, if you're trying to frighten me, you're doing a first-rate job.
Please do what we ask, Mrs. Lambert. It's your only chance.
Gladly, but I don't know what you want. You haven't told me.
Oh? I haven't? Well, it's the money, Mrs. Lambert. The money. Like $250,000 Charles Voss received from the auction. Those three men wanted too. They want it very badly.
But that's Charles's money, not theirs.
Oh, Mrs. Lambert, I'd love to see you try and convince them of that. Oh, boy.
But then whose is it? His or theirs?
Ours.
Oh.
Charles Voss stole $250,000 from the United States government. I'm afraid we want it back.
But I don't have it.
That's impossible, Mrs. Lampert. You're the only one who could have it.
Mr. Bartholomew, if I had $250,000, believe me, I'd know it.
Nevertheless, Mrs. Lampert, you've got it.
You mean it's just lying around somewhere? All that cash?
Or a certified check, a safe deposit key, baggage claim. You look for it, Mrs. Lambert. I'm quite sure you'll find it. Look for it. Look just as hard and as fast as you can. You may not have a great deal of time. Those three men know you've got the money just as surely as we do. You won't be safe until the money's in our hands. Is that clear? Now, here's where you ought to call me, day or night. It's a direct line to both my office and my apartment. And please don't tell anyone about coming to see us today. It could prove fatal for them as well as yourself. As I said, Mrs. Lambert, I'm afraid you're in a great deal of danger. I regret very much having to say this, but please remember what happened to your husband.